Philadelphia Eagles now at Chat Sports. So, Thomas, Philadelphia's on the clock.
Well, listen, I really don't want to be here right now talking to you, Tom, because I know you're a Cowboys fan. I know you're thrilled to get CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah,
Let me just say this. The Eagles are furious right now. They did not get CeeDee Lamb. At least I know Eagle fans are as mad as they come to not get Lamb. Lamb was falling perfectly. The fact that Philadelphia did not trade up ahead of Dallas to go ahead and get him blows my mind. But here we go. Philadelphia 21. They're most likely going to stay here and take this pick, and the question's going to be linebacker or wide receiver. Now, your wide receivers, there's still a lot available, but the presumptive pick here is Justin Jefferson. But let me say this. A lot of Eagle fans don't want to hear this. Kenneth Murray, the linebacker of Oklahoma, presumed to be a top 15 pick. He's there. Don't be shocked that this is Kenneth Murray, the linebacker.
How would you feel about Murray being the pick in Philadelphia?
Listen, I've been saying all along on Philadelphia Eagles now that I think Murray would be an excellent choice at number 21 overall.
Okay.
I'm one of the few people covering the Eagles who are saying that linebacker is a need, and it blows my mind. Philadelphia doesn't have a good linebacker on their squad. I mean, Nathan Gary is their best linebacker right now, and he's basically a special teams expert. You can get receivers later on in the draft. Now, if this is Justin Jefferson, I love it. I think you're an Eagles fan. Got this. Who's playing middle linebacker in Philadelphia next year? We have no idea. They went ahead and signed Brown in the offseason to a one-year deal. He's not going to cut it. Eagle fans are locked into wide receiver. Lamb, I love it, but he's gone. Maybe the weakest point of the Eagles right now, I think it's linebacker, not wide receiver. I would not be surprised if this is Kenneth Murray. It's Murray or Jefferson. I really hope Howie Roseman doesn't shock everybody and go for like a Jalen Reagor at a TCU, because Philly fans would not have it.
How would you feel about corner or safety? I know you kind of addressed those needs pretty significantly. What do you think of those options, though?
Mock drafts having cornerback to Philadelphia make no sense. I think anyone who mocked a corner to 21 overall, I know Trayvon Diggs is still there. Philly doesn't need a cornerback. They signed Darius Slay, and they're going to throw either Sidney Jones, Avonte Maddox, or Rasul Douglas. Whoever doesn't start from that will play in the slot. I think Philadelphia's fine at cornerback. They moved Jalen Mills from cornerback to safety. I think that's going to work out as well. Again, think about Philadelphia. The D-line, they could use a pass rusher, but they get Malik Jackson back. They'll be fine there. They're good on the offensive line. They're obviously good at quarterback. They need a running back. They need a linebacker. They need a wide receiver. Obviously, you don't want a running back right now. It's either wide receiver or linebacker. And I would honestly probably take Kenneth Murray over Kristen Fulton, which I see you have right there as the number one corner still available.
Yeah, I got Fulton as my CB1. I've got Kenneth Murray as my linebacker one because I counted Isaiah Simmons as an athlete. I think I would go with Justin Jefferson. I think he's a better player than Murray. But I think you bring up a great point, Mott, that you can wait on receiver, which clearly is what teams like the Niners and Jets have already done.
Okay, listen, let me just throw this at you. If Philadelphia does not like Kenneth Murray, then I think what you just said could be a potential. Like, it's all depends on how high you are on Justin Jefferson. If you're not high on Justin Jefferson or Kenneth Murray, Philly could trade back right here into the early parts of the second round, maybe 34 with Indianapolis, maybe 37 with the Chargers, and get a Denzel Mims out of Baylor there at number in the second round at number 37. So if they love Jefferson, then they run the pick up to the board. But they don't love Jefferson or they don't love Kenneth Murray, they're probably trading back. I actually kind of agree with you on that one.
I think that's a fair point, and I am curious to see which route Philadelphia goes. I think they've got options here. You bring up a great point about the trade mindset. I think that's tricky right now because I don't know what teams really want to move up right now. I don't know if there's a lot of teams trying to move up in the draft for what I think is a very closely clustered group of players, as we've seen with surprise picks in Austin Jackson and Damon Arnett as the last two moves.
As we sit here thinking about number 21, and we obviously keep hearing Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, Tom, who would you say is the second best receiver left on the board? I mean, apparently Philadelphia is very high on Denzel Mims. They FaceTimed him like 5 times in 1 week a couple of weeks ago, and he went and visited them in Philadelphia. Would this be Mims if it's not going to be Justin Jefferson, or could it be Reagor? Who would you say is the next best wide receiver?
I've got Mims higher, but I don't think the NFL agrees with me. So I would wonder if Reagor would actually be the next best receiver on the board behind if it's not Justin Jefferson in the end because of the athletic ability that Reagor brings to the NFL.
But I'm a wide receiver, and we know that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see which route they end up going, but I would bet that receiver is the pick here, but we'll see as that pick is coming in right now. The pick is in. The Philadelphia Eagles do go receiver. but it's Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver out of TCU. So, Thomas Mott, host of our Philadelphia Eagles Now, I'll kick this over for your thoughts on Reagor going 21.
Well, listen, this is not my favorite pick for Philadelphia at number 21 overall. I had Justin Jefferson rated a lot higher than Jalen Reagor. The problem with Jalen Reagor is, do we really know exactly what he is in terms of the production? Now, he's a little bit undersized, 5'10", 206 pounds. You see it there on the screen. But he had a really bad quarterback at TCU and only caught 6 touchdown passes last year. Some people see him as the most explosive wide receiver in this draft. I just didn't see it. I don't understand how you watch the film between Justin Jefferson and Jalen Reagor, who are very comparable overall size-wise, and go, okay, one caught 111 passes and 18 touchdowns, and the other caught 43 passes for 5 touchdowns. Now, I know Joe Burrow versus whoever the heck was playing quarterback at TCU last year. I get it. I heard rumors that they were very high on Jalen Reagor, but I think Philadelphia fans are going to be very disappointed, not only losing out on CeeDee Lamb to your Dallas Cowboys, but now not being their next favorite wide receiver, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I mean, I get it from Philadelphia's perspective. I know the production, as you bring up, was horrible. TCU had trash quarterback this past year. Let's be realistic there. I see return man ability, and although the 4.47 was a major disappointment at the Combine, he clearly bulked up too much. Like, he was heavier than what he should have been. He's a vertical threat. He brings great speed, deadly with the ball in his hand. My concern is that you drafted Marquise Goodwin. My hope here for Philadelphia, Thomas, is that they just took Brandon Cooks.
Well, if it is Brandon Cooks, obviously that's going to be a win for Philadelphia. The question now becomes, where does Jalen Reagor line up? You look at Philadelphia's current wide receiver core. Alshon Jeffrey's on that list right now, but he potentially could be cut by after the July 1st deadline. And then you're sitting there with Deshaun Jackson, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in his second year, and Greg Ward, who was a backup or a practice squad quarterback earlier on in the year. Is Reagor going to come in and be able to produce as a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2? Like, if the Eagles already had a surefire number 1 wide receiver, then you bring in Reagor as potentially a Nelson Aguilar replacement, but they need him to be more than that, and that's my fear right now for bringing in a guy at TCU like Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair point there. So, question for everyone watching live right now on our main YouTube channel and on our new Philadelphia Eagles Now channel as well. Get your votes in. C for the Cowboys or E for the Eagles. Who gets more wins in 2020, Thomas?
Where's the E on my keyboard? Let me push that like 8 billion times. Although I will say, like, listen, covering the Eagles, they wanted CeeDee Lamb, and the fact that he went to Dallas, we play him twice a year, that is brutal for Philadelphia. Brutal.
I'm pretty happy about that one. So get your votes in. C for the Cowboys, E for the Eagles. We've done some crazy numbers tonight in terms of comments per minute, and we appreciate that. I'm curious what happens. Thomas, thank you for coming on. If you're watching on Philadelphia Eagles Now, we're going to go ahead and end this live stream. Head over to youtube.com/chatsportstv. We'll get the link in the comments for you guys for the rest of round 1 of the NFL draft. And Thomas, thank you so much for stopping by tonight.
All right, guys. See you back.